Echoes of Past Lives, Seoul, 1997. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm golden hue over the bustling streets of Seoul. Children laughed and played in the narrow alleyways, their voices echoing off the brick walls of the tightly packed apartment buildings. Among them were two young friends, Nora and Hae Sung, whose laughter and chatter filled the air with a sense of innocent joy. Nora, with her bright eyes and adventurous spirit, was always the ringleader of their little group. She had an insatiable curiosity that often led them on many adventures around their neighborhood. Hae Sung, quieter and more introspective, followed her lead with a sense of admiration and loyalty that belied his young age. They met in the most unremarkable of ways through their parents, who were neighbors and friends. But from the moment they exchanged shy smiles and tentative greetings, a bond was formed. They quickly became inseparable, spending their afternoons exploring every nook and cranny of their neighborhood, sharing secrets and dreams under the shade of the old ginkgo tree in the park. One warm summer evening, as they sat on the swings in the park, Nora turned to Hae Sung with a determined look in her eyes. "Let's make a promise," she said, her voice filled with the earnestness of childhood. "No matter what happens, we'll always be friends." Hae Sung nodded solemnly, his young mind not fully grasping the weight of such a promise, but feeling its importance nonetheless. "Always," he agreed, sealing their pact with a pinky swear. As the years passed, their friendship grew stronger. They celebrated each other's birthdays, consoled each other in times of sadness, and shared countless moments of happiness. They were each other's confidants, partners in mischief, and steadfast supporters. Their bond was a constant in their ever-changing world, a source of comfort and joy. However, life, as it often does, had its own plans. Nora's parents announced that they were moving to Canada, a decision that would alter the course of their young lives. The news hit them like a thunderbolt, bringing an abrupt end to their carefree days. The night before Nora's departure, they sat together under the ginkgo tree, the weight of the impending separation hanging heavy in the air. Nora clutched a small notebook, a parting gift for Hae Sung, filled with drawings and messages that captured their shared memories. "Promise me you'll write," she whispered, her voice trembling with emotion. Hae Sung nodded, tears glistening in his eyes. "I promise." As they hugged for the last time, the reality of their separation set in. The following day, Nora's family left for Canada, and Hae Sung stood at the airport, waving goodbye to his best friend, feeling a profound sense of loss. In the years that followed, life moved on. Nora adapted to her new life in Canada, excelling in her studies and nurturing her passion for writing. Hae Sung remained in Seoul, pursuing his own dreams and finding solace in their shared memories. Despite the distance, they kept their promise, exchanging letters filled with updates and words of encouragement. Yet, as time passed, the frequency of their correspondence dwindled. The demands of school, new friendships, and the passage of time created a chasm between them. But deep down, the bond they had forged remained, a silent reminder of a fateful meeting and a promise made under the ginkgo tree. Their story, however, was far from over. Fate had a way of bringing people back into each other's lives, sometimes in the most unexpected ways. As they navigated the challenges of adulthood, Nora and Hae Sung would soon discover that the echoes of their past were far more powerful than they could have ever imagined. Nora and Hae Sung's childhood bond was like a perfectly woven tapestry, each thread representing a shared adventure, a secret kept, or a dream imagined together. The park near their homes, with its weathered playground equipment and lush green trees, served as the backdrop for countless afternoons of laughter and discovery. On weekends, they would embark on imaginary quests, transforming the park into a land of dragons and knights. Nora, ever the leader, would assign their roles. She was usually the brave knight, while Hae Sung was the wise wizard. Armed with sticks for swords and capes made from old bed sheets, they would gallop around, saving imaginary kingdoms and defeating invisible foes. One particularly hot summer day, they decided to build a fort out of fallen branches and leaves. With Nora's meticulous planning and Hae Sung's attention to detail, their fort became a masterpiece. They spent hours inside, sharing stories and planning their next adventure. Nora's imagination knew no bounds, and Hae Sung's steady presence and thoughtful input made their games all the more enjoyable. Their friendship extended beyond the park. In school, they were a dynamic duo. Nora, with her quick wit and enthusiasm, often helped Hae Sung come out of his shell. She encouraged him to participate in school plays and join her in various clubs. Hae Sung, in turn, was her rock, providing a sense of calm and stability amidst her whirlwind of energy. They shared lunches, exchanged books, and spent countless hours studying together. Nora's family, recognizing the depth of their friendship, welcomed Hae Sung into their home if he were one of their own. Hae Sung's parents, equally fond of Nora, often treated her to homemade delicacies and listened to her stories with amused smiles. Their bond was a source of envy among their peers. Many wondered how two people could be so in sync, so understanding of each other. To Nora and Hae Sung, it was simple, they just fit. They complemented each other's strengths and supported each other's weaknesses, creating a friendship that was as effortless as it was profound. One memorable winter, a heavy snowfall transformed their neighborhood into a winter wonderland. Nora and Hae Sung spent an entire day building the most magnificent snowman the block had ever seen. They used Hae Sung's father's old hat and scarf to give their creation personality, and a carrot from Nora's kitchen for the nose. As they stood back to admire their handiwork, Nora's cheeks flushed from the cold, and Hae Sung's eyes sparkling with joy. They felt a deep sense of accomplishment. That evening, as they warmed up with hot cocoa in Nora's kitchen, they talked about their dreams for the future. Nora spoke animatedly about becoming a famous writer and traveling the world, while Hae Sung, ever practical, expressed his desire to become an engineer and build things that made people's lives better. Whatever happens, we'll always stay in touch, right? Nora asked, her voice full of hope and determination. Hae Sung nodded, a small smile playing on his lips. Of course, no matter where we are, we'll always be friends. As the years went by, that promise became a lifeline for both of them. Nora's family eventually announced their move to Canada, a decision that felt like the end of an era. The news was devastating, but they clung to their promise with unwavering faith. On the last day before Nora's departure, they revisited all their favorite spots. They laughed and cried, recounting their most cherished memories. As the sun set, they found themselves back at the ginkgo tree, the place where their friendship had blossomed. They carved their initials into the tree trunk, a permanent reminder of their bond. Nora and Hae Sung, friends forever. Nora whispered, tracing the letters with her fingers. Friends forever, Hae Sung echoed, his voice thick with emotion. The next morning, at the airport, they shared one last hug. Nora's eyes brimmed with tears as she boarded the plane, clutching the notebook filled with Hae Sung's drawings and messages. Hae Sung watched the plane take off, feeling a profound sense of loss, but also a flicker of hope. He believed in their promise, and that belief gave him the strength to face the future. Their separation marked the beginning of a new chapter in their lives, one filled with challenges, growth, and the occasional letter that bridged the gap between continents. While the physical distance between them grew, the bond they had forged in their childhood remained strong, a testament to the power of true friendship. Years later, as adults navigating the complexities of life, they would find their paths crossing once more. And in those moments, the echoes of their past would resonate deeply, reminding them of the unbreakable bond they had shared and the promises they had made under the ginkgo tree. Toronto, 1997. Nora's new life in Toronto was a whirlwind of change and adaptation. The bustling city, with its towering skyscrapers and diverse population, was a stark contrast to the familiar streets of Seoul. Nora missed the comforting routine of her old neighborhood and the constant presence of Hae Sung, but with her characteristic resilience, she embraced the challenges of her new environment. Her parents enrolled her in a local school, where she quickly stood out with her outgoing personality and sharp intellect. Despite the initial language barrier, Nora's determination and quick learning helped her excel. She made new friends, joined the school newspaper, and immersed herself in the vibrant cultural tapestry of Toronto. However, no matter how busy her days were, Nora always made time to write letters to Hae Sung. She filled pages with descriptions of her new life, the people she met, and the places she explored. She shared her triumphs and struggles, her hopes and fears. Each letter was a lifeline, a way to keep their connection alive despite the miles that separated them. Hae Sung's life in Seoul continued with a sense of normalcy, though it was tinged with the absence of his closest friend. He threw himself into his studies, finding solace in the familiar routines of school and family. The letters from Nora were a bright spot in his life, each one eagerly anticipated and cherished. He would spend hours crafting his responses, ensuring that each word conveyed the depth of his feelings and the details of his own life. He shared stories of their old neighborhood, updates on mutual friends, and his own dreams and aspirations. The letters became a bridge, connecting their worlds and providing comfort during lonely times. As months turned into years, the frequency of their correspondence began to wane. The demands of school, new friendships, and the passage of time made it harder to keep up. Yet, despite the dwindling letters, the bond they had forged remained a constant in their hearts. Nora's passion for writing flourished in high school. She wrote for the school newspaper, won several writing competitions, and even had a few pieces published in local magazines. Her teachers recognized her talents and encouraged her to pursue a career in writing. Nora's dream of becoming a playwright took root, and she began to envision a future where her stories could touch people's lives. Hae Sung, meanwhile, excelled in his studies, particularly in mathematics and science. His logical mind and problem-solving skills earned him accolades and scholarships. He decided to pursue engineering, a field where he could combine his love for building things with his desire to make a difference. His path was clear, and he followed it with determination. Despite the clarity of their individual paths, both Nora and Hae Sung felt a lingering sense of something missing. The occasional letters they exchanged were like echoes from a distant past, reminders of a simpler time when their futures were intertwined. They wondered about each other, missed the easy camaraderie they had shared, and silently hoped that one day their paths would cross again. In the meantime, life continued to move forward. Nora graduated high school with honors and was accepted into a prestigious university in New York, where she planned to study playwriting. The bustling city, with its vibrant art scene and endless opportunities, was a dream come true for her. She threw herself into her studies and began to make a name for herself in the theatre community. Hae Sung, on the other hand, was accepted into a top university in Seoul, where he pursued his degree in engineering. His rigorous coursework and demanding projects left little time for anything else. Yet, he found fulfillment in his work, knowing that he was on the path to achieving his goals. Years passed, and the distance between Nora and Hae Sung seemed to grow, not just in miles, but in experiences and aspirations. Yet, the bond they had forged in their childhood remained an unspoken presence in their lives. It was a quiet reminder of a promise made under the ginkgo tree, a promise that neither of them had forgotten. As they navigated the complexities of adulthood, they would soon discover that fate had a way of weaving their paths back together. And when that time came, they would be faced with the echoes of their past and the choices that would shape their future. New York, 2007. The city of New York buzzed with energy and endless possibilities. For Nora, it was the perfect place to chase her dreams. Her days were filled with classes, writing workshops, and rehearsals. She thrived in the vibrant arts community, drawing inspiration from the city's rich cultural tapestry. Every corner seemed to hold a story waiting to be told, and Nora eagerly soaked it all in. Her talent and dedication did not go unnoticed. She quickly gained recognition for her compelling scripts and innovative storytelling. Her plays began to attract attention, and soon she found herself working with renowned directors and actors. The dream she had nurtured since childhood was becoming a reality. Despite her success, Nora often found herself thinking about Hae Sung late at night, after a long day of rehearsals, or during quiet moments in her bustling apartment. Her mind would drift back to the ginkgo tree, to the laughter and secrets shared in the Seoul Park. She wondered how Hae Sung was doing, what his life was like, and if he ever thought of her. The occasional letter they exchanged had dwindled to rare messages on social media, brief updates about major life events. Hae Sung's last message had mentioned his graduation and securing a job at a leading engineering firm in Seoul. Nora had congratulated him and shared her own milestones. Yet, these snippets of communication felt insufficient, mere shadows of the deep connection they once had. Seoul, 2007. Hae Sung's life in Seoul was a mix of hard work and quiet satisfaction. His job at the engineering firm was demanding but fulfilling. He was involved in projects that aimed to improve urban infrastructure, a tangible way to make a difference in people's lives. Despite the rigorous work hours, he found a sense of purpose and achievement in his career. Still, there were moments when he felt a pang of nostalgia. He kept Nora's letters and their childhood mementos in a small box, revisiting them occasionally. They were reminders of a simpler time, when dreams were untainted by the complexities of adult life. He often wondered how Nora was faring in New York, imagining her amidst the bright lights and theatrical brilliance of Broadway. One evening, as he sat at his desk reviewing project plans, an unexpected email notification interrupted his thoughts. It was from Nora. His heart skipped a beat as he opened the message, eager to read her words. "Hey Hae Sung, I hope this email finds you well. It's been ages since we last caught up properly, and I miss our conversations. Life in New York is as hectic as ever, but I recently had a play premiere that received some great reviews. It's been a whirlwind, but I wanted to share the news with you. How have you been? I saw your latest project on social media that looks impressive. I'd love to hear all about it. Maybe we can find a time to chat soon. Take care, Nora." Hae Sung felt a rush of warmth as he read her message. He quickly replied, sharing updates about his projects and expressing his pride in her achievements. They exchanged a few more emails, slowly rekindling the ease and familiarity of their old friendship. Their correspondence became more frequent, filling a void that neither had fully acknowledged. They spoke about their careers, their dreams, and the challenges they faced. It was as if the years apart had melted away, leaving the essence of their bond untouched. One day, during one of their email exchanges, Nora suggested a video call. The idea filled Hae Sung with a mixture of excitement and nervousness. It had been so long since they had seen each other, and he wondered if the years and distance had changed them too much. New York, 2007. Nora felt a similar anticipation as she prepared for their call. She set up her laptop in her cozy apartment, arranging the lighting to ensure a clear view. As the call connected and Hae Sung's face appeared on the screen, a wave of nostalgia and joy washed over her. "Hae Sung, it's so good to see you," she exclaimed, her smile broad and genuine. "Nora, it's been too long," Hae Sung replied, his own face lighting up with a smile. "You look great. How's everything?" Their conversation flowed naturally, filled with laughter and shared memories. They talked about their current lives, their hopes for the future, and the small everyday things that made them who they were. It was a balm for their souls, a reminder of the unbreakable bond they shared. As they said their goodbyes, both felt a sense of renewal. The call had bridged the gap between them, reigniting the friendship that had been their anchor during childhood. They promised to keep in touch more regularly, to not let the ocean between them silence their connection. Over the following months, Nora and Hae Sung stayed true to their word. They made time for video calls, sharing their successes and struggles. The distance seemed less daunting, and the echoes of their past began to blend seamlessly with their present. Their renewed friendship brought a sense of balance to their lives. Nora found inspiration in their conversations, infusing her writing with the warmth and depth of their bond. Hae Sung, too, felt a newfound vigor in his work, driven by the support and encouragement they exchanged. Yet, despite the joy their reconnection brought, there were unspoken feelings simmering beneath the surface. Nora couldn't ignore the growing realization that her feelings for Hae Sung went beyond friendship. She wondered if he felt the same, but fear of jeopardizing their bond kept her silent. Similarly, Hae Sung struggled with his own emotions. His affection for Nora had always been more than platonic, but the fear of distance and the complexities of their lives held him back. He cherished their renewed connection and didn't want to risk losing it. Their hearts were caught in a delicate dance, each step measured by the weight of their past and the uncertainty of their future. But fate, as it often does, had its own plans. And soon, they would find themselves facing choices that would shape the course of their lives in ways they could never have imagined. New York, 2008. A year had passed since Nora and Hae Sung had rekindled their friendship through emails and video calls. Their bond had grown stronger, and the once intimidating distance seemed to shrink with each conversation. Yet, the longing to see each other in person had been building, a silent wish shared by both. Nora had just wrapped up a successful run of her latest play and was looking forward to a short break. She had been toying with the idea of visiting Seoul, but a new project had come up, demanding her attention. However, life had a way of surprising her. One evening, as she was going through her emails, a message from Hae Sung caught her eye. It was short, but it made her heart race. "Hey Nora, I have some exciting news. My company is sending me to New York for a project, and I'll be there next month. I can't wait to catch up in person. Let me know when you're free. Best, Hae Sung." Nora's excitement was palpable. She immediately replied, setting up a time to meet and eagerly counting down the days. The thought of seeing Hae Sung after so many years filled her with a mix of joy and nervous anticipation. The day of their reunion arrived, and Nora found herself at the entrance of Central Park, their agreed meeting spot. She wore a bright yellow dress, her favorite, hoping it would reflect the happiness she felt inside. The park was bustling with activity, the vibrant spring colors mirroring her excitement. As she scanned the crowd, her eyes landed on a familiar figure walking towards her. Hae Sung looked just as she remembered, yet more mature. He was dressed in a casual blazer and jeans, his warm smile instantly recognizable. "Nora," he called out, waving. "Hae Sung." She responded, running towards him. They hugged tightly, the years apart melting away in that moment. The familiarity of his presence, the comfort of his embrace, it was as if they had never been separated. "Look at you, all grown up," Nora teased, stepping back to take in his appearance. "And you, looking every bit the successful playwright," Hae Sung replied, his eyes twinkling with admiration. They spent the day exploring the park, catching up on everything they couldn't convey through emails and calls. They talked about their childhood memories, their current lives, and their dreams for the future. The conversation flowed easily, filled with laughter and occasional moments of reflective silence. As the sun began to set, they found a quiet bench near the lake. The soft glow of the evening light created a serene atmosphere, perfect for the deeper conversations they had been avoiding. "I've missed this, Hae Sung," Nora admitted, her voice soft. "I've missed you." "I've missed you too, Nora," Hae Sung replied, his gaze steady. "Our talks, our shared dreams. It feels like a part of me was missing all these years." Nora nodded, feeling a lump form in her throat. She wanted to tell him everything, her feelings, her hopes for their future, but the words seemed stuck. Instead, She took a deep breath and placed her hand on his. "Hae Sung, there's something I've been meaning to say," she began, her voice trembling slightly. He looked at her, his expression serious and attentive. "What is it, Nora?" "I care about you a lot," she said, her heart pounding. "More than just as a friend. I don't know when it started, but these feelings have been growing, and I can't ignore them anymore." Hae Sung's eyes softened, and he squeezed her hand gently. "Nora, I've felt the same way for a long time. But with the distance and our separate lives, I didn't want to risk losing you." A wave of relief washed over Nora. Hearing his words, knowing that he felt the same, made her heart soar. They sat in silence for a moment, letting the weight of their confessions sink in. "So, what do we do now?" Nora asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Hae Sung smiled, a sense of calm and determination in his eyes. "We take it one step at a time. We figure this out together. Our bond has survived so much already, I believe it can withstand anything." Nora nodded, feeling a renewed sense of hope. They had faced distance, time, and life's unpredictability, yet their connection had endured. With their feelings out in the open, they were ready to embrace whatever the future held. As they walked back towards the park entrance, hand in hand, they talked about the possibilities ahead. Hae Sung's project would keep him in New York for a few months, giving them time to explore their relationship further. They were determined to make it work, fueled by the love and friendship that had brought them back together. And so, amidst the bustling streets of New York, under the twinkling city lights, Nora and Hae Sung began a new chapter in their story. A chapter filled with promise, guided by the echoes of their past and the strength of their unbreakable bond. New York, 2008. Nora and Hae Sung's relationship blossomed in the following months. They spent as much time together as their busy schedules allowed, exploring the city, sharing their lives, and deepening their connection. They revisited favorite childhood memories, explored new experiences together, and discovered the joys and challenges of a romantic relationship. Nora's apartment became their sanctuary. It was a small, cozy space filled with books, scripts, and various trinkets from her travels and theatre experiences. Hae Sung, with his analytical mind and knack for organization, helped her create a more functional space. He installed shelves, rearranged furniture, and even fixed a few things that had been long neglected. Their evenings were often spent in the kitchen, cooking together and talking about their day. Hae Sung, who had developed a passion for cooking during his university years, introduced Nora to Korean dishes she hadn't tasted in years. Nora, in turn, shared her love for Italian and Mediterranean cuisine. These shared moments were simple but deeply meaningful, creating a routine that brought comfort and stability. One rainy evening, they decided to stay in and watch a movie. They settled on the couch with a bowl of popcorn, wrapped in a cozy blanket. As the rain pattered against the windows, they watched Before Sunrise, a film about two strangers who meet on a train and spend an unforgettable night in Vienna. The movie's themes of chance encounters and fleeting connections resonated deeply with them. "Do you ever think about how different our lives would be if my family hadn't moved to Canada?" Nora asked, her head resting on Hae Sung's shoulder. "All the time," Hae Sung replied softly. "But I also believe that our paths were meant to cross again. We were always meant to find each other, no matter where life took us." Nora smiled, feeling a sense of warmth and reassurance. "I'm glad we did. It feels like everything makes sense now." Their relationship wasn't without its challenges. Balancing their demanding careers with their personal lives required constant effort and communication. Nora's playwriting and involvement in the theatre often meant late nights and unpredictable schedules. Hae Sung's engineering projects came with tight deadlines and occasional travel, yet they found ways to support each other. Hae Sung attended Nora's play premieres, offering encouragement and feedback. Nora, in turn, took an interest in Hae Sung's work, attending his presentations and learning about his projects. They celebrated each other's successes and provided comfort during setbacks. One particularly stressful week, Nora was struggling with writer's block while trying to finish a script for an upcoming play. The pressure was mounting, and she felt overwhelmed and frustrated. Hae Sung noticed her distress and decided to surprise her with a thoughtful gesture. He spent the afternoon preparing a traditional Korean dinner, complete with her favorite dishes. When Nora returned home, exhausted and disheartened, she was greeted by the delicious aroma of home-cooked food and the sight of Hae Sung setting the table. "What's all this?" she asked, her eyes widening in surprise. "Just a little something to help you relax," Hae Sung said with a smile. "I know you've been having a tough week." Nora felt a lump in her throat as she took in the scene. "You didn't have to do this, Hae Sung, but thank you. It means a lot." They enjoyed the meal together, the warmth and care behind Hae Sung's gesture easing Nora's stress. After dinner, they sat on the couch, sipping tea and talking about everything and nothing. Nora felt a sense of peace and gratitude, knowing that she had someone who understood and supported her so deeply. As the months passed, their relationship grew stronger. They navigated the complexities of love and life with a shared sense of purpose and commitment. They made plans for the future, discussing their dreams and aspirations. Nora talked about her desire to write a novel, while Hae Sung shared his ambition to lead a major engineering project. Despite their busy lives, they made it a point to spend quality time together. They explored New York's cultural scene, visited museums and art galleries, and took weekend trips to nearby towns. Each experience brought them closer, deepening their bond and creating lasting memories. One sunny autumn afternoon, they decided to take a walk through Central Park. The leaves were changing colors, painting the landscape in hues of red, orange, and gold. They strolled hand in hand, enjoying the crisp air and the beauty of the season. As they walked, Nora felt a surge of emotion. She stopped and turned to Hae Sung, her eyes filled with love and determination. "Hae Sung, I want us to always be like this," she said, her voice steady. "No matter where life takes us, I want us to face it together." Hae Sung looked at her, his eyes reflecting the same determination. "I feel the same way, Nora. You're my best friend, my partner. I can't imagine my life without you." They embraced, the world around them fading away. In that moment, they made a silent promise to each other to cherish their love, to support each other through thick and thin, and to face the future with unwavering faith in their bond. As they continued their walk, they talked about their plans for the coming year. Hae Sung's project in New York was nearing completion, and they needed to decide what their next steps would be. The thought of potentially being separated again was daunting, but they were determined to find a way to stay together. Back at Nora's apartment, they spent the evening discussing their options. Hae Sung had opportunities to transfer to his company's New York office, while Nora considered applying for fellowships that would allow her to work on her writing full-time. They explored various scenarios, weighing the pros and cons of each. In the end, they decided to take a leap of faith. Hae Sung applied for the transfer, and Nora submitted her fellowship applications. They knew that the future was uncertain, but they were willing to face it together, trusting in the strength of their love and commitment. As they lay in bed that night, wrapped in each other's arms, Nora felt a deep sense of contentment. No matter what challenges lay ahead, she knew they would face them together. Their journey had been long and winding, but it had brought them to this moment stronger, wiser, and more in love than ever. New York, 2009. Hae Sung's transfer to the New York office was approved, and Nora was awarded a prestigious fellowship that allowed her to focus on her writing. With their immediate future secured, they began a new chapter of their lives together in the city that had become their home. They moved into a larger apartment, a place where they could both work and live comfortably. It was a bright, airy space with large windows that let in plenty of natural light. They filled it with furniture and decorations that reflected their personalities and shared taste. Bookshelves lined with their favorite novels, art pieces from local galleries, and cozy nooks perfect for reading and writing. Their new routine brought a sense of stability and fulfillment. Hae Sung's work at the New York office was challenging but rewarding. He was involved in innovative projects that pushed the boundaries of engineering and design. His team valued his expertise and dedication, and he quickly earned a reputation as a reliable and talented professional. Nora, free from the constraints of a day job, immersed herself in her writing. She worked on her novel, attended literary workshops, and connected with other writers and creatives in the city. The fellowship provided not only financial support, but also a sense of validation and encouragement. She felt a renewed sense of purpose and inspiration. Despite their busy schedules, they made time for each other. They continued their tradition of cooking together, exploring new recipes, and enjoying their meals as a way to unwind and connect. They took long walks in Central Park, visited their favorite spots, and discovered new ones. Their weekends were often spent exploring the city's cultural offerings, museums, theaters, and art galleries. One evening, after a particularly successful day at work, Hae Sung came home with a surprise. He had planned a special dinner to celebrate Nora's progress on her novel. The dining table was set with candles and flowers, and the aroma of delicious food filled the air. "What's all this?" Nora asked, her eyes wide with delight. "Just a little celebration," Hae Sung replied with a smile. "You've been working so hard on your novel, and I wanted to do something special for you." They enjoyed the meal together, savoring the food and the moment. As they talked about their day, their hopes, and their dreams, Nora felt a deep sense of gratitude for the life they were building together. After dinner, they sat on the couch, their fingers intertwined. Nora rested her head on Hae Sung's shoulder, feeling a sense of peace and contentment. "Hae Sung, thank you for always being there for me," she said softly. "I couldn't have done any of this without your support." Hae Sung kissed her forehead, his eyes filled with love. "Nora, you've always been my inspiration. I'm so proud of you and everything you've accomplished. We're a team, and we'll always support each other." Their lives continued to flourish in the following months. Nora made significant progress on her novel, drawing inspiration from her experiences and the people around her. Hae Sung's projects gained recognition, and he was offered opportunities to lead larger initiatives. Despite their success, they remained grounded, always remembering the promise they had made to each other. They faced challenges together, celebrated victories together, and navigated the complexities of life with unwavering commitment to their relationship. One crisp autumn evening, as they walked through Central Park, Hae Sung stopped and turned to Nora. The setting sun cast a golden glow over the park, creating a magical atmosphere. "Nora, there's something I've been wanting to ask you," he said, his voice steady but filled with emotion. Nora looked at him, her heart pounding. "What is it?" "Hae Sung." He took her hands in his gaze unwavering. "Nora, you've been my best friend, my partner, and my greatest love. I can't imagine my life without you. Will you marry me?" Tears filled Nora's eyes as she looked at the man she had loved for so many years. "Yes, Hae Sung, yes, I will marry you." They embraced, the world around them fading away. In that moment, they knew that their journey, with all its twists and turns, had brought them to this place of deep love and commitment. They were ready to face the future together, as partners and as a family. Their engagement marked the beginning of a new chapter in their lives. They planned a small, intimate wedding, inviting only their closest friends and family. The ceremony was held in a beautiful garden, surrounded by nature and the people who had supported them throughout their journey. As they exchanged vows, promising to love and support each other for the rest of their lives, Nora felt a profound sense of joy and fulfillment. She had found her true partner, someone who understood and cherished her, and with whom she could share her dreams and build a future. After the ceremony, they celebrated with a reception filled with laughter, music, and heartfelt speeches. Their friends and family toasted to their happiness, sharing stories and memories that highlighted the depth of their bond. As the evening drew to a close, Nora and Hae Sung stood together, looking out at the city skyline. The lights of New York twinkled in the distance, a reminder of the journey they had undertaken and the future that lay ahead. "Nora, we did it," Hae Sung said, his voice filled with awe. "Yes, we did," Nora replied, her heart full of love and gratitude. "And I can't wait to see what the future holds for us." Hand in hand, they walked into the night, ready to face whatever challenges and adventures awaited them. Their love, strengthened by time and tested by distance, had brought them to this moment. Together, they knew they could overcome anything and build a life filled with love, joy, and endless possibilities. New York, 2010. Nora and Hae Sung settled into married life with a sense of joy and contentment. Their new apartment felt like a true home, a place where they could both thrive and support each other. They continued to build on the routines and traditions that had brought them closer, finding comfort in the stability and predictability of their shared life. Their work continued to be a major focus, but they always made time for each other. Nora's novel was nearing completion, and she found herself more motivated than ever, fueled by Hae Sung's unwavering support and encouragement. Hae Sung's career was also flourishing, and he was offered a leadership position within his company, a role that came with new responsibilities and challenges. Despite their busy schedules, they made it a priority to spend quality time together. They enjoyed weekend getaways, exploring nearby towns and nature trails. They hosted dinners for friends, creating a warm and welcoming environment where laughter and good food were always in abundance. One weekend, they decided to take a trip to the Hudson Valley, a beautiful region known for its scenic views and charming small towns. They stayed in a quaint bed and breakfast, enjoying the peaceful surroundings and each other's company. As they hiked through the picturesque trails, they talked about their future and the dreams they hoped to achieve together. They discussed the possibility of starting a family, a topic that had become more frequent in their conversations. "I think we'd make great parents," Hae Sung said, his eyes filled with warmth and excitement. Nora smiled, feeling a surge of love for her husband. "I think so too. I can already imagine our little ones running around, filling our home with laughter." The idea of starting a family brought a new sense of purpose and anticipation to their lives. They decided to take things one step at a time, knowing that the future was unpredictable but feeling confident in their ability to face it together. Back in the city, Nora's novel finally reached completion. It was a deeply personal story, drawing on her own experiences and emotions. As she wrote the final words, she felt a mix of exhaustion and exhilaration. She couldn't wait to share her work with the world and see how it would be received. Hae Sung was her first reader, offering thoughtful feedback and unwavering support. His pride in her accomplishment was evident, and he celebrated her success with genuine enthusiasm. "Nora, this is incredible," he said after finishing the manuscript. "Your writing is so powerful and moving. I know it's going to touch a lot of people." Nora felt a sense of validation and joy. "Thank you, Hae Sung. Your support means everything to me." With Hae Sung's encouragement, Nora submitted her novel to several publishers. The waiting period was nerve-wracking, but she remained hopeful, knowing that she had poured her heart and soul into her work. Meanwhile, Hae Sung was excelling in his new role at the company. He led his team with confidence and integrity, earning the respect and admiration of his colleagues. His projects were innovative and impactful, reflecting his dedication and passion for his work. One evening, as they were enjoying a quiet dinner at home, Nora received a phone call from her literary agent. She listened intently, her heart racing with anticipation. When she hung up, her eyes were filled with tears of joy. "Hae Sung, they loved it. My novel is going to be published," she exclaimed, her voice trembling with excitement. Hae Sung immediately pulled her into a tight embrace. "Nora, that's amazing. I'm so proud of you." They celebrated the news with a toast, their hearts full of gratitude and happiness. It was a moment of triumph, a testament to their hard work and determination. As the weeks passed, Nora's novel went through the final stages of editing and production. The release date was set, and the anticipation grew. Hae Sung continued to be her biggest supporter, attending every event and cheering her on every step of the way. The day of the book launch arrived, and Nora felt a mix of nerves and excitement. The event was held at a cozy bookstore in the city, filled with friends, family, and literary enthusiasts. As she read excerpts from her novel and signed copies for readers, she felt a profound sense of fulfillment. Hae Sung stood by her side, his pride and love evident in every glance and gesture. They celebrated the success of her book with a small party, surrounded by the people who had supported them throughout their journey. As they reflected on their achievements and the life they had built together, Nora and Hae Sung felt a deep sense of gratitude. They had faced many challenges and overcome numerous obstacles, but their love and commitment had carried them through. Their future was filled with promise and possibility. They looked forward to the adventures and milestones that lay ahead, knowing that together they could achieve anything. Their journey, with all its twists and turns, had led them to this moment, a life filled with love, joy, and endless potential. New York, 2011. With the success of Nora's novel and Hae Sung's flourishing career, their lives were filled with excitement and growth. However, they were not ones to rest on their laurels. They continuously sought new opportunities and challenges that would expand their horizons, both personally and professionally. One of the first big changes came when Nora was invited to participate in a writer's residency in Italy. It was a prestigious program that offered writers the chance to immerse themselves in a new environment, connect with other creatives, and draw inspiration from the rich cultural heritage of the region. Nora was thrilled at the opportunity, but also concerned about the time she would spend away from Hae Sung. "You should go," Hae Sung said firmly when they discussed it over dinner. "It's an amazing opportunity, and I'll be here supporting you every step of the way." Nora was touched by his unwavering support. "Are you sure? It's a long time to be apart. We'll make it work. Besides, it's not like we can't visit each other. It's just a few months, and it will fly by." With Hae Sung's encouragement, Nora accepted the residency. They spent the weeks leading up to her departure preparing for the separation. Hae Sung helped her pack, ensuring she had everything she needed for her stay. They set up regular video call schedules and made plans for Hae Sung to visit her in Italy during a long weekend. The day Nora left for Italy was filled with mixed emotions. At the airport, they held each other tightly, not wanting to let go. "I'm going to miss you so much," Nora said, her voice choked with emotion. "I'll miss you too," Hae Sung replied, kissing her forehead. "But this is a wonderful opportunity for you. Enjoy every moment, and we'll talk every day." With one last embrace, they said their goodbyes, and Nora boarded the plane with a heavy heart but a determined spirit. Italy proved to be an incredible experience. The picturesque landscapes, vibrant culture, and rich history provided endless inspiration for her writing. She spent her days exploring the quaint villages, visiting historical sites, and working on her next novel. The residency also allowed her to connect with other writers from around the world, exchanging ideas and fostering new friendships. Despite the distance, Nora and Hae Sung stayed close. They video called every evening, sharing their daily experiences and maintaining their emotional connection. Hae Sung visited her as planned, and they spent a magical weekend exploring Rome together, deepening their bond despite the physical separation. Hae Sung's career continued to thrive during Nora's residency. He took on new projects and responsibilities, further establishing himself as a leader in his field. He also began mentoring junior engineers, finding great satisfaction in helping others develop their skills and advance their careers. When Nora returned to New York, They were both overjoyed to be reunited. The time apart had only strengthened their relationship, and they felt more connected than ever. Nora brought back with her a wealth of new ideas and experiences that enriched her writing and broadened her perspective. Inspired by her time in Italy, Nora decided to write a travel memoir, documenting her experiences and the impact they had on her as a writer and a person. The project allowed her to relive the memories and share them with others, creating a bridge between her adventures and her readers. Meanwhile, Hae Sung was approached by his company with an exciting opportunity. They wanted him to lead a groundbreaking project in Seoul, which would involve designing and implementing advanced engineering solutions for a major urban development. It was a prestigious assignment that would significantly enhance his career, but it also meant relocating to South Korea for an extended period. Nora and Hae Sung discussed the opportunity at length. While the prospect of another separation was daunting, they recognized the importance of seizing such a significant career milestone. "This is huge for you, Hae Sung," Nora said, her eyes shining with pride. "You have to take it. But what about us?" "I don't want to be apart from you again so soon," Hae Sung replied, concern etched on his face. "We'll figure it out," Nora assured him. "Maybe I can come with you for part of the time. Or we can plan frequent visits. We've done it before, and we can do it again." In the end, Hae Sung accepted the offer, and they began preparing for another period of long distance. Nora decided to split her time between New York and Seoul, working on her travel memoir and exploring opportunities in South Korea's literary scene. Their first few months apart were challenging, but they made it work through constant communication and regular visits. Nora found South Korea to be a fascinating place, full of rich history and vibrant culture. She connected with local writers and artists, gaining new insights and inspiration for her work. Hae Sung, on the other hand, threw himself into the project with passion and dedication. Leading a team of talented engineers, he worked tirelessly to bring innovative solutions to life. The project was demanding, but Hae Sung thrived on the challenges, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. Despite the physical distance, their love remained strong. They celebrated milestones together, albeit virtually, and supported each other through the ups and downs of their respective careers. Their relationship continued to evolve, growing deeper and more resilient with each passing day. One evening, during one of Nora's visits to Seoul, they took a walk along the Han River. The city lights reflected on the water, creating a serene and beautiful backdrop. "Hae Sung, I've been thinking," Nora began, taking his hand. "We've been managing this long-distance thing really well, but I miss having you close all the time." "I miss you too," Hae Sung replied, squeezing her hand. "What are you thinking?" "I'm thinking maybe we should look into finding a way to live in the same place more permanently. Whether it's New York or Seoul, I just want us to be together." Hae Sung smiled, feeling a surge of love for Nora. "I've been thinking the same thing. Let's explore our options and make it happen." They spent the following weeks researching possibilities and weighing their options. Hae Sung's project in Seoul was nearing completion, and he had the opportunity to choose his next assignment. Nora's travel memoir was almost finished, and she was considering the idea of writing full-time, which would give her more flexibility in terms of location. In the end, they decided to return to New York. It was the city where they had built their life together, and it offered both of them the best opportunities for their careers. Hae Sung arranged to transfer back to the New York office, and Nora prepared to finalize her memoir and start working on her next novel. Their return to New York marked a new beginning. They found a beautiful apartment in Brooklyn, a place that felt like home from the moment they stepped inside. They filled it with memories and personal touches, creating a warm and inviting space. As they settled back into their life together, they reflected on the journey that had brought them to this point. They had faced numerous challenges and overcome significant obstacles, but their love and commitment had carried them through. Nora's memoir was published to critical acclaim, earning her a new audience and further establishing her reputation as a talented and insightful writer. Hae Sung continued to excel in his career, leading innovative projects and mentoring the next generation of engineers. Together, they looked forward to the future with hope and excitement. Their journey was far from over, and they knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, hand in hand. New York, 2012. Nora and Hae Sung's decision to return to New York marked a new chapter in their lives. They settled into their Brooklyn apartment, enjoying the sense of stability and togetherness they had longed for during their time apart. Their careers continued to flourish, but their focus began to shift towards building a family. The conversation about starting a family became more frequent and serious. They both felt ready to take the next step, eager to share their love and build a future with children of their own. They discussed their hopes and fears, ensuring they were on the same page and ready for the journey ahead. "Are you sure you're ready for this?" Hae Sung asked one evening as they cuddled on the couch. Nora smiled, her eyes filled with warmth and determination. "I've never been more sure of anything. I know it won't be easy, but I can't imagine a better partner to embark on this journey with." With their hearts aligned, they began to make preparations. They visited doctors, did research, and talked to friends who had children. They wanted to be as informed and prepared as possible for the life-changing experience of parenthood. A few months later, they received the joyous news that Nora was pregnant. The excitement and anticipation were palpable as they shared the news with their friends and family. Their apartment filled with baby books, nursery plans, and the gentle hum of excitement for the new life they were about to welcome. As Nora's pregnancy progressed, Hae Sung was her constant support. He attended every doctor's appointment, helped with nursery preparations, and took on extra responsibilities at home to ensure Nora could rest and take care of herself. Their bond grew even stronger as they navigated this new phase of their lives together. One sunny afternoon, they took a walk through Prospect Park, discussing names and dreaming about their future as parents. "What do you think of the name Min-jun?" Hae Sung asked, his eyes sparkling with excitement. Nora smiled, considering the name. "I love it. It has a nice ring to it. What about if it's a girl?" "I was thinking of something like Ji-woo," Hae Sung replied. "It's beautiful and strong. I love it too," Nora said, squeezing his hand. "I can't wait to meet our little one." As the due date approached, they attended birthing classes and readied themselves for the big day. The anticipation was filled with a mix of excitement and nerves, but they faced it together, supporting each other every step of the way. Finally, the day arrived. After a long and intense labor, they welcomed their baby boy, Min-jun, into the world. The moment they held him for the first time, their hearts swelled with an indescribable love. They were overwhelmed with joy and gratitude for the new addition to their family. Parenthood brought new challenges and joys. The sleepless nights, endless diaper changes, and constant feedings were balanced by the moments of pure bliss when Min-jun smiled, cooed, or snuggled in their arms. They learned to navigate this new world together, leaning on each other for support and strength. Their friends and family were a constant source of support, offering advice, assistance, and plenty of love for Min-jun. They hosted gatherings and playdates, ensuring that their son was surrounded by a community that cherished and supported him. As Min-jun grew, so did their family's love and bond. Hae Sung and Nora cherished every milestone, from his first steps to his first words. They made it a priority to spend quality time together, creating memories and traditions that would shape Min-jun's childhood. Their careers continued to thrive, but their family always came first. Nora found ways to balance her writing with motherhood, often working during Min-jun's nap times or in the evenings after he was asleep. Hae Sung managed his responsibilities at work while ensuring he was present for important moments in Min-jun's life. One evening, as they sat together on the couch, watching Min-jun play with his toys, Nora turned to Hae Sung and said, I feel so incredibly blessed. Our journey has been full of twists and turns, but it's brought us to this beautiful moment. Hae Sung smiled, pulling her close. I couldn't agree more. I love our life, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for us. As they looked at their son, they felt a profound sense of joy and fulfillment. Their journey had been challenging, but it had also been filled with love, growth, and endless possibilities. They knew that together, they could face whatever the future held, continuing to build a life filled with love, joy, and cherished memories. New York, 2015. As the years passed, Nora and Hae Sung embraced the evolving dynamics of their lives with open hearts and minds. Min-jun, now a curious and energetic toddler, brought boundless joy and new adventures to their family. Each day was filled with laughter, learning, and the endless discoveries that come with parenthood. Nora's writing career continued to flourish. Her travel memoir had become a bestseller, and she had embarked on a book tour that took her across the country. The experience was exhilarating but also demanding, requiring careful balancing with her responsibilities as a mother. Hae Sung, ever the supportive partner, managed his work commitments to ensure he could be there for Nora and Min-jun whenever needed. One of the significant changes they embraced was the decision to move to a larger home. Their cozy Brooklyn apartment, which had been perfect for the early years of their marriage, now felt cramped with Min-jun's growing needs and Nora's expanding collection of books and writing materials. After months of searching, they found a beautiful brownstone in Park Slope. The house had ample space, a backyard for Min-jun to play in, and a dedicated office where Nora could write. Moving was a significant undertaking, but they approached it as a team, packing boxes late into the night and making countless trips to the new house. The move was a fresh start, filled with excitement and promise. They took great care in decorating the new home, creating a warm and inviting space that reflected their personalities and values. Min-jun's room was filled with colorful toys and books, while Nora's office became a sanctuary of creativity and inspiration. One Saturday morning, as they unpacked the last of the boxes, Hae Sung took a moment to reflect on their journey. "We've come a long way, haven't we?" he said, wrapping an arm around Nora's shoulders. "We really have," Nora replied, leaning into him. "This house feels like the perfect place for the next chapter of our lives." They celebrated their new home with a housewarming party, inviting friends and family to share in their joy. The house was filled with laughter, music, and the smell of delicious food. It was a day of love and connection, a reminder of the strong community they had built around them. As they settled into their new home, life continued to present new opportunities and challenges. Hae Sung's company offered him a promotion, which involved overseeing international projects and traveling more frequently. It was a significant career milestone, and while the increased travel was a concern, they both recognized the importance of seizing the opportunity. "We'll make it work, just like we always have," Nora said reassuringly when they discussed the offer. "I can handle things here while you're away, and we'll find ways to stay connected." Hae Sung nodded, grateful for Nora's unwavering support. "I know we can. It's just another adventure for us to navigate together." With Hae Sung traveling more, Nora found herself juggling multiple roles: mother, writer, and now, more frequently, a solo parent. It was challenging, but she approached it with the same resilience and determination that had carried her through other phases of their lives. Min-jun adapted quickly to the changes, his boundless energy and curiosity a constant source of joy. Nora made sure to keep him engaged with activities and outings, from visits to the zoo to afternoons at the local library. She also found support in their community, leaning on friends and neighbors who were always willing to lend a hand. During Hae Sung's trips, they maintained their family traditions through video calls and special surprises. Hae Sung would read bedtime stories to Min-jun over the phone, and they'd have virtual family dinners where they shared their days. It wasn't the same as being together in person, but it kept their bond strong. One evening, After a particularly long day, Nora sat down at her desk and began to write. Her new project was a novel, inspired by her experiences as a mother and the complex dynamics of balancing family and career. The story flowed from her fingertips, a reflection of her deepest thoughts and emotions. As she wrote, she felt a sense of catharsis. The act of putting her experiences into words was therapeutic, helping her process the myriad of feelings that came with this stage of her life. The novel became a labor of love, a testament to the strength and resilience she had found within herself and her family. Meanwhile, Hae Sung's projects took him to cities around the world. From Tokyo to Paris, he thrived on the challenges and opportunities, but he always made sure to return home as often as possible. Each reunion was filled with joy and relief, a reminder of the deep connection that held their family together. During one of Hae Sung's trips home, they took a weekend getaway to the Catskills, a place they had always loved for its natural beauty and tranquility. They spent their days hiking, picnicking, and simply enjoying each other's company away from the hustle and bustle of city life. One evening, as they sat by a crackling fire, Min-jun asleep in his lap, Hae Sung looked at Nora and said, "I know our life is busy and sometimes chaotic, but I wouldn't trade it for anything." Nora smiled, feeling the same way. "Me neither. It's our life, and it's beautiful because we're living it together." As they watched the flames dance in the fireplace, they felt a deep sense of gratitude for their journey. They had faced numerous challenges, but each one had strengthened their bond and deepened their love. They knew that whatever the future held, they would face it together, embracing change with open hearts and minds. New York, 2016. Nora and Hae Sung's life in Park Slope became a testament to their commitment to building a loving home and a strong community. They found joy in the everyday moments, from Min-jun's laughter to quiet evenings spent together after long days. Their new home became a hub of activity, filled with friends, family, and neighbors who enriched their lives in countless ways. Nora's new novel, inspired by her journey of motherhood and the complexities of balancing career and family, was nearing completion. The writing process had been a deeply personal experience, allowing her to reflect on her own life and the challenges and triumphs she had encountered. She felt a profound sense of accomplishment as she typed the final words, knowing she had poured her heart and soul into the story. Hae Sung's career continued to thrive, and he found fulfillment not only in his work, but also in the relationships he built with his colleagues. He became a mentor to many young engineers, offering guidance and support as they navigated their own career paths. His trips abroad, though frequent, were balanced by the time he spent at home, ensuring he remained a present and active father. Their commitment to community extended beyond their immediate circle. Nora and Hae Sung became involved in local organizations and initiatives, contributing their time and resources to causes they cared about. Nora joined a writing group that focused on supporting young writers, while Hae Sung volunteered at a local youth center, sharing his knowledge and passion for engineering. One summer, they decided to host a neighborhood block party, an idea that had been brewing for a while. They wanted to bring their community together, celebrating the diversity and unity that made their neighborhood special. They spent weeks planning, coordinating with neighbors, and organizing activities that would appeal to both children and adults. The day of the block party arrived, and the street buzzed with excitement. There were food stalls with delicious homemade dishes, games and activities for the kids, and live music that set a festive tone. Nora and Hae Sung moved through the crowd, greeting friends and making new connections, their hearts full as they watched the community come together. "This is amazing," Nora said, smiling as she watched Min-jun play with the other children. "I'm so glad we did this." Hae Sung nodded, his eyes reflecting the same sense of fulfillment. "Me too. It's wonderful to see everyone enjoying themselves and connecting with each other." The block party was a huge success, and it became an annual tradition, strengthening the bonds within their community. Nora and Hae Sung's home remained a central gathering place, hosting dinners, book clubs, and playdates. They cherished these moments, knowing that the connections they fostered enriched their lives in countless ways. As the years passed, Min-jun grew into a bright and inquisitive child, eager to learn and explore. He inherited his parents' curiosity and love for discovery, often peppering them with questions about the world around him. Nora and Hae Sung nurtured his interests, providing him with opportunities to explore his passions and develop his talents. One evening, as they sat down for dinner, Min-jun looked up at his parents and asked, "Can we go on a big adventure, like in the stories you write, Mom?" Nora smiled, her heart warmed by his enthusiasm. "Of course, we can. Where would you like to go? Somewhere we've never been before, maybe a place with lots of history and cool places to explore," Min-jun replied, his eyes sparkling with excitement. Hae Sung looked at Nora, his smile mirroring hers. "That sounds like a wonderful idea. We could plan a trip together, exploring a new place and creating new memories." They began planning a family trip, choosing Greece as their destination. The rich history, beautiful landscapes, and vibrant culture made it the perfect place for their adventure. They spent months preparing, reading books about Greek mythology and history, and planning their itinerary. The trip to Greece was everything they had hoped for and more. They visited ancient ruins, explored charming villages, and enjoyed the stunning beaches. Min-jun's excitement was infectious, and they savored every moment of their journey together. The experience brought them even closer, deepening their bond as a family. As they stood on the Acropolis, overlooking the city of Athens, Nora turned to Hae Sung and said, "This has been an incredible adventure. I'm so grateful we could do this together." Hae Sung nodded, his arm around her shoulders. "Me too. It's moments like these that remind me how lucky we are to have each other and to share these experiences." Their return to New York was filled with stories and memories from their trip. Min-jun couldn't wait to tell his friends about their adventures, and Nora and Hae Sung found new inspiration in the experiences they had shared. The trip to Greece became a cherished memory, a reminder of the joy and fulfillment that came from exploring the world together. As they settled back into their routines, they continued to embrace change and growth, knowing that their journey was an ever-evolving adventure. They faced challenges with resilience and celebrated their successes with gratitude, always mindful of the love and connection that bound them together. Their lives were a tapestry of experiences, woven with threads of love, community, and exploration. They looked to the future with hope and excitement, ready to face whatever came their way with open hearts and unwavering support for each other. The journey was far from over, and they were ready to embrace each new chapter with the same spirit of adventure and resilience that had guided them thus far. New York, 2017. Life in Park Slope continued to be a blend of love, community, and the daily joys of raising Min-jun. However, as with any journey, Nora and Hae Sung faced unexpected challenges that tested their resilience and commitment to each other. One evening, Nora received a call from her mother, who still lived in California. Her mother's voice trembled as she shared the news that she had been diagnosed with cancer. The world seemed to pause as Nora absorbed the gravity of the situation. Her mother had always been a pillar of strength and support, and the thought of her facing such a serious illness was overwhelming. "I need to be there for her," Nora said to Hae Sung, her voice filled with determination and fear. "I can't imagine going through this without being by her side." Hae Sung took her hands in his eyes filled with empathy. "We'll figure it out, Nora. You need to be with your mom, and I'll do whatever it takes to support you." They began making arrangements for Nora to travel to California. Hae Sung adjusted his work schedule to ensure he could take care of Min-jun while Nora was away, and they coordinated with friends and neighbors who offered to help. It was a challenging time, but their love and support for each other provided a strong foundation. Nora spent the next few weeks in California, helping her mother through the initial stages of treatment. It was an emotionally and physically exhausting time, but being there for her mother brought them closer than ever. They shared heartfelt conversations, reminisced about cherished memories, and found strength in each other's presence. Back in New York, Hae Sung and Min-jun navigated their daily routines, missing Nora, but staying connected through frequent video calls. Min-jun, though young, understood the importance of what his mother was doing and expressed his love and support in his own ways. One evening, after a particularly difficult day, Nora called Hae Sung, her voice weary but resolute. "It's so hard seeing Mom go through this, but I'm glad I'm here. How are things with you and Min-jun?" "We're doing okay," Hae Sung replied, his voice steady. "We miss you, but we're managing. Min-jun is being a trooper. We're just counting down the days until you're back." Nora smiled, tears welling up in her eyes. "I miss you both so much. Thank you for holding everything together. I don't know what I'd do without you. We're a team, Nora. We'll get through this together." Hae Sung reassured her, his love and support unwavering. After several weeks, Nora returned to New York, feeling both relief and a renewed sense of determination. Her mother's condition had stabilized, and they had established a plan for her ongoing treatment. Nora continued to support her from afar, making frequent trips to California and staying in close contact with her medical team. The experience brought a new perspective to Nora and Hae Sung's lives. They realized the importance of cherishing each moment and supporting each other through life's uncertainties. They made a conscious effort to spend more quality time together, creating memories and strengthening their bond. Nora's writing became a source of solace and expression during this time. She poured her emotions into her work, finding comfort in the act of creating and sharing her experiences. Her new novel, inspired by her journey of supporting her mother, resonated deeply with readers, touching on themes of love, resilience, and the strength of family. Hae Sung, too, found ways to balance his demanding career with his commitment to his family. He made it a priority to be present for Min-jun's milestones and to support Nora in every way possible. Their partnership continued to thrive, built on a foundation of mutual respect, love, and unwavering support. One evening, as they sat on their back porch, watching the stars twinkle in the night sky, Nora turned to Hae Sung and said, "This year has been one of the hardest, but it's also shown me how strong we are together. I'm so grateful for you, for Min-jun, for everything we've built." Hae Sung squeezed her hand, his eyes reflecting the same gratitude. "I feel the same way. We've faced a lot, but it's made us stronger. And we have so much to look forward to." As they sat in the quiet night, they felt a profound sense of peace and connection. Life's challenges had tested them, but they had emerged stronger, more resilient, and deeply committed to each other. Their journey was far from over, and they knew there would be more challenges ahead. But they faced the future with confidence, knowing that together, they could overcome anything. Their love and support for each other were the anchors that would carry them through, no matter what life had in store. New York, 2018. With the hardships of the previous year behind them, Nora and Hae Sung looked forward to new beginnings and fresh opportunities. They had weathered the storm together, and their bond was stronger than ever. Min-jun was now a curious and energetic 5-year-old, ready to start kindergarten, bringing a new rhythm to their lives. Nora's latest novel had been a success, and she found herself in high demand for book signings, interviews, and literary events. Her career was flourishing, but she remained grounded, always prioritizing her family above all else. She found joy in the simple moments, reading bedtime stories to Min-jun, sharing quiet evenings with Hae Sung, and enjoying the vibrant community they had built around them. One morning, as Nora sat at her desk working on her next novel, she received an unexpected email. It was an invitation from a prestigious writers' conference in Paris, offering her a keynote speaker slot. The opportunity was both exciting and daunting, but the idea of visiting Paris, a city she had always dreamed of exploring, filled her with anticipation. When she shared the news with Hae Sung, his eyes lit up with excitement. "That's amazing, Nora, you have to go. And maybe we can turn it into a family trip." Nora smiled, the idea sparking joy. "That would be wonderful. We could explore the city together, and it would be such a great experience for Min-jun." They began planning the trip, balancing the logistics of Nora's conference with their desire to make the most of their time in Paris. They booked flights, found a charming apartment to rent, and mapped out their itinerary, eager to immerse themselves in the city's culture and history. The day finally arrived, and they boarded the plane with a mix of excitement and anticipation. Min-jun was thrilled about the adventure, peppering his parents with questions about Paris and what they would see. Nora and Hae Sung exchanged smiles, feeling grateful for the opportunity to create new memories together. Paris exceeded their expectations. They visited iconic landmarks like the Eiffel Tower, Notre Dame, and the Louvre. Min-jun was captivated by the city's beauty and history, his curiosity leading them on endless explorations. They savored delicious pastries at quaint cafes, strolled along the Seine, and soaked in the vibrant atmosphere. The writers' conference was a highlight for Nora. Her keynote speech was well received, and she connected with fellow writers from around the world, exchanging ideas and gaining new inspiration for her work. Hae Sung and Min-jun attended some of the events, proud to see her shine in her element. One evening, after a particularly memorable day of sightseeing, they found themselves at a cozy bistro, enjoying a delicious meal. Min-jun, tired but happy, sat between them, his eyes wide with wonder. "This has been the best adventure ever," he declared, his voice filled with excitement. Nora and Hae Sung exchanged a smile, their hearts full. "I'm glad you're enjoying it, buddy," Hae Sung said, ruffling Min-jun's hair. Nora took a deep breath, feeling a profound sense of contentment. "This trip has been so special. I'm so grateful we could do this together." Their time in Paris was a blend of work and leisure, a perfect balance that left them with cherished memories and a deeper connection. As they returned to New York, they felt a renewed sense of purpose and excitement for the future. Back home, life resumed its familiar rhythm, but the experience of their trip lingered, enriching their daily lives with new perspectives and inspiration. Nora's writing flourished, infused with the magic of Paris, and Hae Sung continued to excel in his career, drawing on the experiences and insights gained during their travels. Min-jun started kindergarten, embracing the new adventure with enthusiasm. His days were filled with learning, play, and new friendships, and Nora and Hae Sung cherished the moments of watching him grow and thrive. One evening, as they sat together on the porch, watching the sunset, Nora turned to Hae Sung and said, "I feel so lucky. Our life is full of so many beautiful moments, and I'm grateful for every single one." Hae Sung smiled, his heart echoing her sentiment. "Me too, Nora. We've built something truly special, and I'm excited for all the adventures still to come." As they watched the sky turn shades of pink and orange, they felt a profound sense of peace and fulfillment. Their journey had been filled with twists and turns, but through it all, their love and commitment had remained steadfast. They looked to the future with hope and excitement, ready to embrace whatever came their way. Together, they had created a life rich with love, joy, and endless possibilities, and they knew that the best was yet to come. New York, 2019. Nora and Hae Sung's life in Park Slope continued to flourish, enriched by their love, family, and community. They had faced numerous challenges and celebrated many triumphs, each experience deepening their bond and shaping their journey together. As Min-jun entered his second year of kindergarten, Nora and Hae Sung found themselves contemplating the next steps in their lives. They had built a strong foundation, but they were always open to new opportunities and adventures. One morning, over breakfast, Hae Sung shared some unexpected news. I've been offered a new position at work. It's a big step up, but it would require us to relocate to San Francisco." Nora looked up from her coffee, her heart skipping a beat. San Francisco. That's a big change. How do you feel about it? Hae Sung took a deep breath. "I'm excited about the opportunity, but I'm also aware of what it would mean for us. It's a significant move, and I wanted to discuss it with you before making any decisions." Nora appreciated Hae Sung's thoughtfulness. They had always made decisions together, considering the impact on their family. "It's a lot to think about, but I'm open to the idea. We have family in California, and it could be a new adventure for all of us." They spent the next few weeks discussing the pros and cons, weighing the impact on their careers, Min-jun's education, and their community in New York. It was a difficult decision, but they approached it with their usual teamwork and open communication. Ultimately, they decided to take the leap and move to San Francisco. It was a chance for Hae Sung to advance his career, and it offered new opportunities for Nora and Min-jun as well. They prepared for the move with a mix of excitement and nostalgia, saying goodbye to their friends and the neighborhood that had become home. Their arrival in San Francisco was both thrilling and challenging. The city's vibrant culture and stunning scenery were a welcome change, but they also faced the task of building a new life from scratch. They found a beautiful house in a family-friendly neighborhood, enrolled Min-jun in a local school, and began to explore their new surroundings. Nora quickly found inspiration in the city's diverse culture and natural beauty. She joined a local writers group, made new friends, and continued to work on her next novel. The move had sparked a creative renaissance, and she felt energized by the possibilities that lay ahead. Hae Sung thrived in his new role, finding fulfillment in the challenges and opportunities it presented. He built strong relationships with his new colleagues and enjoyed the dynamic, innovative environment of Silicon Valley. Min-jun adapted well to his new school, making friends and embracing the adventure with his usual enthusiasm. He loved exploring the city, from the Golden Gate Park to the bustling waterfront, and his curiosity and joy brought endless delight to his parents. One weekend, they decided to take a trip to Napa Valley, enjoying the beautiful vineyards and serene landscapes. As they walked through the vineyards, soaking in the sunshine and fresh air, Nora turned to Hae Sung and said, "This feels like the start of a wonderful new chapter. I'm so glad we took this leap together." Hae Sung smiled, pulling her close. "Me too. It's a big change, but I believe it's the right one for us. We have so much to look forward to." As they watched Min-jun run ahead, his laughter echoing through the vineyard, they felt a profound sense of peace and excitement for the future. Their journey had brought them to this beautiful moment, and they knew that together, they could face any challenge and embrace every opportunity. Life in San Francisco was an adventure, filled with new experiences and endless possibilities. They continued to grow and evolve, always supporting each other and cherishing the love that bound them together. Their journey was far from over, and they looked forward to each new chapter with hope, joy, and unwavering commitment. Nora and Hae Sung's story was one of resilience, love, and the power of family. They had faced countless challenges and celebrated many triumphs, always finding strength in each other and the community they built around them. Their journey was a testament to the beauty of life's unexpected twists and turns, and they embraced each moment with open hearts and minds. As they stood on the porch of their new home, watching the sun set over the San Francisco Bay, they felt a profound sense of gratitude. Their story was still unfolding, and they were ready to face whatever came next with love, resilience, and the unbreakable bond that had carried them through every chapter of their lives. The journey was far from over, and they looked to the future with hope, excitement, and the knowledge that together they could conquer anything. Their love was a constant, unwavering force, guiding them through life's many adventures and challenges. And as they faced each new day, they knew that their story was one of endless possibilities, filled with love, joy, and the promise of many more beautiful moments to come. Thanks for watching.